What's up, guys? Welcome back to another review, and this time I'm going to be taking a look at the 1995 Robert Williams classic that is Jumanji. Okay, this is going to be very, very short because I can talk forever about this movie. I love this movie. I love Jumanji. I remember seeing this back in '95 as a kid, and I loved it ever since. Robin Williams as Alan Parrish is awesome. He's hysterical. He's just so Robin Williams was such a great fucking actor, such an inspiration to me as a film fan and as someone who, loves movies and particularly likes comedic movies. Robin Williams and Jim Carrey were always the two people that I really kind of idolized in a way, especially Robin Williams. And in this movie, he puts on a great performance. And to me, it's actually a very multi-layered performance. Like, yeah, Alan Parrish, he's a very light-hearted character, but there's this really cool scene where he pretty much goes into a dark place where he starts telling one of these kids a story about his time in the jungle when he gets sucked into the board game. And it's actually pretty chilling. Great performance by Robin Williams. Great performance. This movie stars a young Kirsten Dunst, and she does an okay job too. The actor that plays her little brother does a good job. Bonnie Hunt's in this movie. She plays the love interest, and I like her character as Sarah Whittle. She does a really good job herself. This movie has just a lot going on with it, believe it or not. I mean, this movie is more than just a movie about a board game that pretty much brings animals to life in a way. There's a lot of heart to it. There's a lot of family dynamics to it. Like, I like the relationship, the kind of sort of strained relationship that Alan has with his father. It's kind of like a tough love relationship in a way, and you can tell that they care for one another, but his father is such a stoic man that he really can't show his son the proper like emotions, and Alan feels like he's being forced to do things he doesn't really want to do. So I really like all that. I really like that dynamic of the movie. It really does it for me. And I also like the resolve at the end where they both break down their walls and actually come together as a father and son. It's a very touching moment. But again, throughout the movie, you can clearly tell that the father, does care for his son. He just has his own way of showing that he cares because he's so stoic and proper in a way. David Alan Grier is in this movie. He plays the soul man, whose name is Carl, and he's a good character. I like David Alan Grier as a comedian. He's a very funny guy. I like him in this movie too. I like seeing how he was pretty much like friends with Alan when he was working with his father. I also like how he had a respect for his father, for Alan's father too, because they worked together. And of course, I like the whole thing about how he lost his job because of Alan's mistake, and how he became a police officer. And I love the reaction he gives when an older Alan Parrish reveals that he's Alan Parrish, because once Alan Parrish gets sucked into the board game, he's believed to be dead for 26 years, and the whole story of his father chopping up in little pieces and then hiding the corpse in a house was pretty much conceived by Sarah because of what she saw happen with the game and Alan. So I like all that. It was good stuff. And I also like a very touching, very sad scene where Alan visits his parents' dead tombstone after this homeless man pretty much tells him the story about how his father's shoe factory went out of business was because Alan's father put all his time and effort to trying to find his son, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't find his son, and he pretty much died of a broken heart. And it's a very sad, touching story and I love how Robin Williams just portrays all those emotions in that one scene. Because he pretty much comes to the realization that his father truly did care and love him, even though he was a stoic man. Good stuff. So yeah, from a story standpoint, with a lot of multi-layers and depths, I think this movie gets constantly overlooked because of that. Because this movie, at the end of the day, is a grand spectacle to look at. This is a beautifully shot movie. Joe Johnston, I've always credited Joe Johnston as being a very, very underrated director. He's very, very good. He makes well-made movies, and Jumanji is no exception. Beautifully shot. Great acting. Special effects are really, really good. The practical effects are rock solid. For a movie that was made in 1995, to me, the CG effects kind of still hold up in a way to me. And the practical effects look fantastic, especially the practical effects with the crocodiles and the lion. They look beautiful. Tremendous. And of course, the set designs look fantastic, especially when like when Alan's house pretty much becomes like a jungle in itself because of a passage that was set from the game. It's great, beautiful, and of course, this movie also has one of my favorite characters, Van Pelt. I love Van Pelt. Jonathan Hyde plays Van Pelt, and Jonathan Hyde also plays Alan's father, so he does a double role in this movie, which I thought was great. I love the character of Van Pelt. He has an understated funniness to him as he's trying to kill Alan, and when he's interacting with the real world of this movie, just his reactions. They're so like stoic, but you can clearly, and the way his reactions that do it for him, because he's so serious. It's hard not to laugh at it. It's so good. It's a great performance by Jonathan Hyde. Great performance. So pretty much, this movie all around is a great movie. It's a fun movie. To me, it still stands the test of time. Every time I watch it, I love it. I love the characters. I'm always sucked into the story. I love the special effects. I love Joe Johnston's directing, and I just love this movie all the way around. I mean, I could continue to talk about this movie and just break it down, especially with a lot of the creatures that come out of the game, but I'm not going to do that, because if you haven't seen Jumanji in a long time, it's good to give it a watch. And with the new movie coming out really, really soon, you should revisit this movie and just marvel at just how good it really, really is. So yeah. To me, Jumanji is a solid 10 out of 10. I can't give it any more high praise. Watch it. And if you haven't seen it in a long time, give it a rewatch, because I think it might still have the same effect on you. Anyway, my name is AJ Legend. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.